Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sanjit, and today we'll be covering aerofoil. Now, we all know that there are four forces of flight: lift, weight, thrust, and drag. I'll be covering it in detail in the next few videos, but now I'd like to cover aerofoil and connect it to that. So, all of you must have seen a conventional aeroplane wing, right? So, if you cut a cross section of that, an image will come up. That is an aerofoil. All right. Now, as far as the definition goes, aerofoil is the cross sectional shape of an object which, when goes through air or any fluid, in fact, creates an aerodynamic force. All right. So now the wing is an aerofoil which creates lift. The propeller blades of an aircraft is also an aerofoil which creates thrust. Now, the fins, winglets, helicopter blades, etc., even the control surfaces like ailerons, elevators, rudders, all are aerofoils. Now, some of you might not know what are control surfaces. It will be coming ahead. You'll be able to connect towards it, but I'm just telling you what all are the examples of an aerofoil. Now, I'll just draw a diagram of how an aerofoil looks like. All right. So, see, the aerofoil looks like this. All right. So this is basically an aerofoil. So this is the leading edge and this is the trailing edge. It's quite simple, right? Now let's draw a line from the leading edge to the trailing edge. This is called as the chord line. All right. Now the next definition which we would like to cover is the mean camber line. The mean camber line, what it does basically is it just divides the aerofoil into two equal halves. The chord is just a line which is from the leading edge to the trailing edge. All right, but the mean camber line divides it into two equal halves. That's the difference between both of them. All right. Now the word camber is the curvature of an aerofoil. All right, the curve of an aerofoil. The camber it's a fundamental part of an aerofoil. All right, it will decide the purpose of that particular aerofoil. Now, for example, a high cambered thick aerofoil will be mostly in, for example, a crop duster. Have you seen a crop duster? It flies slow, needs high lift. All right, so that is what, and it sprays all around. It needs to be slow, and it needs the wing needs to create high lift. All right, and in the same way, a jet aircraft, the wing has minimum camber. All right, the aerofoil has minimum camber, helping it to cruise at high speeds. All right, now basically an aerofoil, in case of an aerofoil, there are two kinds. All right, one is symmetrical. All right, so you will see that the camber and the mean camber line and the chord both are the same. It coincides with each other. All right. At the same time, in case of an asymmetrical aerofoil, all right, you will see that this is the mean camber line, and this would be the chord. All right. So you will see how the difference between a symmetrical and an asymmetrical. Symmetrical, if you cut it into half, it will be exactly, you'll get two identical parts, but in this case it's not the same, right? So so in case of symmetrical, there are not there are no variations of it, but in case of an asymmetrical aerofoil, there are a lot of variations. So it will be coming up on the screen, the variations of an asymmetrical aerofoil. So you can see there are aerofoil with low camber, deep camber, uh, another deep camber with high lift and low speed. There are a lot of a lot of kinds of asymmetric aerofoil. One more difference between a symmetrical and asymmetric aerofoil is, now for example, if a symmetric aerofoil is just kept like this is an aerofoil. All right, if it's just kept like this, it is creating zero lift. all right. At the same time, if you just keep asymmetrical aerofoil against an airflow, it will create lift even without increasing the angle against aerofoil. But in case of symmetric, you'll have to increase the angle to create lift. I'll be covering this in the coming videos. All right. For this video, that is it. I hope you understood something. I hope I'm able to add some value. If you have any doubts, you can comment below. Don't forget to go to the description and give the quiz. And you will, if you need any more info, you can ask in the website as well. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Be safe.